Will the Niners win the NFC West this season? Why or why not?
I'm going to say yes.
Who wants to start? Jack, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
The 49ers are going to win the NFC West. It's going to be a battle. I think it's going to come down to them in Seattle again. But I think that the 49ers are going to be able to pull it out. It's going to be, they're typically teams coming back from Super Bowl losses don't do very well. But I think that this is going to be a similar team to like 2013 when they were able to make it back to a championship game. So I'm gonna say yes.
So the Super Bowl hangover, that's been a big thing, right? Over the past 10 years, only 2 teams didn't make the playoffs, and that's Panthers team who had a ridiculous amount of injuries with Cam Newton, as well as the Rams, who kind of had a lot of issues on the offensive line. Gurley wasn't the same, and so forth. And so you're telling me 80% in the past 10 years have made the playoffs the following year. 49ers absolutely fall in that 80% category, and I think they'll win the NFC West. On paper, they're the best team in football, and I think that they're hungry, and that's going to keep them going, as well as they're still getting doubted because of that Super Bowl hangover thing. It's a lot of the people are saying, oh, Arizona, oh, Seattle, but on paper, the 49ers have the best roster, and they have a great offensive coordinator as well as defensive coordinator calling plays there.
I think Seattle, as long as there are officially no fans all season, I think Seattle will get a little bit hurt by that. The home field advantage doesn't really help Los Angeles that much, but I think the Rams could be the 4th place team in the division, and I think it'll be the Niners versus the Seahawks for that first seed in the NFC West, and I think the Niners can get it with 12 or 13 wins.
12 or 13, wow. That would be quite impressive, I think, in the most competitive division in the league. I think this is the best division in the NFL. If they could get 12, 13 wins.
I think they can sweep the Rams.
Sure, maybe. I think the Rams could come in 4th with an 8-8 record, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So look, the playoff format's different this year. There's 7 teams that are going to make it instead of 6. There will be 3 wild card teams. Absolutely, the Niners should make the playoffs. I think they're going to be one of the wild card teams. I think the NFC West is going to have three teams make the playoffs. I think the Cardinals are going to be a wild card team. The Niners are going to be a wild card team. And I think the Seahawks are going to win the division. I don't think they're going to be much better than the Niners. I mean, the Niners had a better point differential last year. They played better against other teams. But when they played each other, those were 2 of the closest games you could imagine. And I mean, both. I mean, like the Niners were a Dre Greenlaw missed tackle away at the goal line from being the 5th seed. I mean, it was that close. And so now that the Niners, are they better than last year? Not necessarily. Are they worse than last year? Not necessarily. But the Seahawks, to me, are seriously better than last year. Like Jamal Adams over Bradley McDougall is a big deal. Quentin Jefferson over Trey Flowers is a big deal. Oh, not Quentin. What was it? What's that guy's name? I'm sorry. I should
Dunbar.
know. Quentin Dunbar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. So I think the defense is better. They still have the best quarterback in the division. I could see them having one more win than the Niners or the same record with a tiebreaker. But one way or another, I think 3 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. It's just going to be tough. The road to the Super Bowl, we're not going to talk about that today. But theoretically, it's going to be so much harder this year unless the Niners are the number 1 seed because the 2 seed does not get a bye. And the Niners had the bye last year. If they have to play on the road as a wild card team, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. And as of right now, they don't have Jadeveon Clowney, who dominated that first matchup. George Kittle missed that first matchup, and they were Connor McLaughlin field goal away from that Week 17 game. Doesn't even matter. 49ers already locked in the division.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, both teams have injuries. I love when people be like, well, the Niners were missing X, Y, Z. Okay, well, do you remember who the Seahawks were missing? Do you remember who the Seahawks were missing? Probably don't.
What's his
because
name?
You don't cover the Seahawks.
Disley. They were missing Disley, who they claim as Pro Bowl.
Without Will Disley?
Exactly. That's what they say.
Feel like it's a very when these teams play each other, it's very, very close. So even with the addition of Jamal Adams and Quentin Dunbar, these should be close games as well. I think. But what do I know?
They'll definitely be close games. I'm not arguing that.